Okay guys, this is just quite important to remove these two top screws that it is the DVD and CD drive lock. So if we do not remove them, your CDs and DVDs will not go in. So make sure you remove those two screws before you do the installation. Alright guys, so here's a FPV here today we've got, and we're going to remove the factory head unit and put one of our Kayhan audio units in it. Technically, to remove this unit there is only 6 screws, 4 of them in the bottom, which is one. There's one right behind this. There's this 2, 3 and 4 of them right here. Those 4 comes off, and you've got 2 more underneath the top lid, which this top lid can just pop out. Lift it up and just pops out. There's 2 more screws on top, and once that's removed, the head unit is easily just slides out, and there's nothing is holding it. Okay guys, here's a new video of installation of this Falcon FG unit, as the old one, some of our customers were absolutely driving us. I don't want to just use the word, but yes, you can just sort of, if you're not sure 100%, please take it to a local audio installer. This video is only a general information. I'm not asking you guys to just do it 100% as what I'm recording, and as every single hand move and a screw move that I'm doing it, you must do the same. No, I'm not asking you to do that. This is just a general information of how to roughly do an installation on these units. And if you're really not sure, please take it to a local installer. So that's our head unit that we've removed from the FG head unit just right now. So there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. You remove all the 4 screws, this panel comes off. So there's only 4 screws, guys. Or could be 3 screws on your unit, or 1 screw, or 2 screws, depends on what version and what model of the FG you have. But once you remove them all, 2, 3 or 4 screws, or could be 5, once you remove them, just the panel comes off. There is nothing else is holding it. Now we just flip this around. If you take a look at this button, that's the top part of the LCD part that comes off from this point. So just push it from this point, push it out, just pops out, and push this one as well, and just pops out, just like that. And once it's out, just make sure you undo this cable as well. This is the cable that's holding it right now. We undo the cable, and the whole panel will just pop out and comes off, just like that. Here we go. So we've got them separated, and we'll just undo this little clip from here and take off our LCD plug from inside here. Okay guys, so once you unclip that, and there's one plug here, the clip, the yellow clip that sits on top of this, you undo that, pull the cable out, and just comes off. That's just a clip. There's no lock in it, or there is no any clicking sound or anything. Just pull it off, it comes out, and it is plugged into the board here, the control panel board. It just comes off, and then you've got 2 screws here, and then you've got 2 screws on this side. Take off both of those screws as in my video. Just take a look at it. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. So just once you take off these 4 screws, this main ICC unit, it should just come off. There is nothing else that's holding it. So just like that, take it off, and that should just basically come off. That's all you have here. There's nothing else. So these are the 2 parts that we're going to replace it. So that's one part, and the second one we're going to replace it. This part we will be using it again. So that's our part that we will connect our new ICC unit, plug in again the same type of plug that you unplug in, the same type of thing. We'll plug back in there, put our unit in there, put the screen on top here, and then put them back inside the car. Simple as that. Okay guys, so we need these yellow clips, the 4 little clips to come out, and just we're gonna be using it on the new screen that we have there. So just use something small enough and be very gentle with them, because so many years and just the sun has keep hitting them and they will become quite dry and it's very easy to break them. So be quite gentle with them as much as you can. But if you do break them, it's not the end of the world. You can just find them again. Just go to Wreckers or go to Ford and just buy a couple of these ones. They're pretty cheap anyway, but try not to, because it's just waste of time and a lot of stress. Go get new ones. So here we go. We got all 4 of them then. That's all 4. And we don't need this part anymore. So that's all done. Okay guys, so this is our package. That's what it comes. That's the new LCD screen. As you can see, that's our screen. And that's our new drive that will just go and control the new panels and the whole lot. This is our plugs. That's another main thing that I would just try to remind you guys, that because of these black sponges that goes around it, when you plug it into the main power point, to the plug, you can't see how far it has gone in, and a lot of our customers just pushes it halfway, like that much in, and they keep saying that I'm getting communication errors on the screen, and the actual unit doesn't even turn on. Yes, that's because you haven't pushed it all the way in, so it's about that much. So all this part has to go inside. So it's quite important to just hold it with both hands on 2 corners and just force it all the way as much as you can, as hard as you can. Aim to break it, but you can't break it, of course, because there is a huge metal bar behind the plugs, so it will not go further inside. So just force it as much as you can. Anyway, okay, so guys, that's the plug that goes at the back of our unit, to the back of this one. The CAN bus unit, which there is another plug that just we disconnected it, will go into that, which is these ones. See, there is a smaller one, goes into the CAN bus, just like that, and there is a bigger one which goes into this panel where we remove the other factory plugs. So it just goes in here. If you take a look at it, the orange part of it must be just on that left hand side. Obviously it's just closed right now, but once we open it and start connecting them, will connect in there, and that one will connect at the back of this unit. And there is another cable you've got, which is the LCD cable, which plugs in here and then connects at the back of your LCD, just right here like that. And if your factory setup has a factory USB cable, you plug it into this and plug it at the back of your unit. If it doesn't, then there's 2 USB ports which you can connect it at the back of this unit and run it to the glove box or at the storage compartment in front of the gear shifter. And that's your reversing camera input, which I'm going to explain it to you when I'm going to install it. That's your radio antenna adapter, which I'll show you where it connects. Well, I mean, it's obvious that there is nothing else, but there is only one plug like that. You can't go wrong with that. Your RCA inputs and outputs. Your microphone input, the aftermarket microphone, which is that one. Now, gentlemen, please take a look. If your panel, when you open it, if you see that, that's your built-in microphone. That's your factory microphone, which is right here. So that is the factory microphone. It's not above the where the sun visor and stuff is. It's not there, it's here. So when you open it, if you see this one, that's your factory microphone, and yes, it will work. The factory microphone will still work with the new unit. You do not need to run this aftermarket microphone. Yeah, so you don't need to connect this or that if you have that. But if you open your setup and you don't have it, which is on MKII, I believe, if I'm not wrong, please don't hold me for that again. If you don't have that, then you must run the aftermarket microphone. But if you have it, you don't need to run it. It will pick and it will work. Okay, so that's as far as we can go for the accessories now. I will put a few things back together. I'll show you how to put them together, of course, and then we can just show you the connectors in the card, how to connect them. There's one quite important thing in here that I would like to show you guys, that we need to make a new hole on this one. See, there's only 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right above this one, 15mm higher, which is roughly around here, we will make a new hole. So above this little squarey shape, sort of a square shape, not the round ones, not the round ones, the little square shape, 15mm higher roughly, so you can go 14 or 16, it will not kill it, it will still work. 15mm higher, make a hole. What size hole now? Again, a lot of customers ask that, what size hole? So as long as it's big enough to fit one of these screws in it, that's all it is. So you can go a 5mm round and just make a hole in there, and that's all you're gonna need. Do not need to mount the other screws, so only one screw goes in here to mount the side of the drive here, the side of this unit. So yeah, I will just make that hole and I will show you guys, and I will mount it, and as well as we mount it, I'll show you as well while we're doing it. Okay guys, so here is the one that we were speaking about it. That's the CAN bus. One side goes to the CAN bus and one side goes to the control panel, which is right here. Now if you just bend it to 90 degree, it's just easily, it can bend it in a, hold it in a way that the orange one is on your left hand side. So the orange is on the left hand side. Now we just put it inside there, make sure it's nice and easily aligned, not to just sort of break any of the clips or bend the clips backwards or forwards, and give it a nice force. And make sure it goes around in here. So that will avoid the plugs from pushing and pulling and coming off. So we're just putting it at the side here. Now hold it there with a finger or something, and then bring your unit. The DVD goes right on top. Just like that. So that sits there, the two screws goes there, and the cable has gone under it. And there's two screw goes on this side. So 2 and 2, and the cable has gone under it, and this part is nice and flush sitting. There is no force on it, and this part is actually holding it to avoid this plug keep popping out while you guys are putting back the unit together. Now we're going to put our 4 screws back on to make it secure. Okay guys, from that side we've got our LCD cable right under the drive, and then from this side we've got our GPS antenna goes right underneath here, and it comes here, so it just gives you more better clearance, not to just bring it across near the brackets to cut it or jam it or make it hard to just push it in there. So we'll just make sure it's tight enough, otherwise your GPS antenna will not have signal. And that's what it is, guys. Now it's ready to just put the plugs on, and we can just take our cables right on top here, and just you can lock it in here. There's no problem with that. Cool. Now we've got our brackets to just go on the side that I said I'm going to make a hole for it. That's the hole that I meant. So right above the little square one just goes another hole right on top, and same thing on the other one as well. So there's 2 of them, as you can see, and there's 2 new holes on them, and we go ahead and start putting them on together. So I'm gonna flip this so you can see it a lot more easier. So that's our left hand side one, and that's where that's gonna mount, right into that one single screw right in here. That's all it is. Once that's mounted, then there's a top part that gets mounted, and of course the rest of it just gets mounted into the vehicle. Okay, I'll put them together and I'll get you another shot. This is our LCD cable that just connects the main ICC unit to the top screen, which we're going to run it right under this bracket. So this is our new bracket that just goes under it, and you just go on the side here, and you just fold it at the side here, just like that, and then just goes on top here and connects to the camera, connects to the screen here on top. Okay guys, here we go. The new holes are being done, and it's being screwed and mounted, and the cable, the panel cable, just goes right under and comes here, connects to your CAN bus decoder. And on this side there's another one which is mounted, of course, for this panel on this side. So your GPS antenna, which goes on top, and that's what it is. Now we're going to just mount our LCD screen and the LCD wires, and we're good to go. Alright guys, so here's our bracket that's being mounted on now. Now these plastic clips that, if you remember, we removed them from the original screen. Just put them back all together, nice and easy, slides in and clicks in. Done. Now we're going to just bring it and click them together. So here's our main ICC, and that's the one that, if you pay attention to these two holes, one here, one here, these are the clips that are gonna go inside, and there is the center one. If you take a look at, there is a small little hole on the center, that one. Make sure you align it with this little clip here, and once you have those two, then you're good. And that's it, guys, we're on. This is the part that we put the brackets on, and that's the little mounting hole for it, which we're gonna use a couple of these screws that we removed from the factory ICC unit, which we don't need them anymore. Align them nice and easily and put the screws on and tie it up nice and fit. There you go, that's one side, and flip it around and do exactly the same thing on the other side. There it is. Done. So that's all fit, set, ready to go.